sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness unto light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this retreat on non-duality. The spiritual problem is that, is it possible to overcome suffering? Is it possible to find permanent and profound meaning in life? Is it possible to find lasting joy and happiness in life? Is transcendence of our empirical life possible? And all spiritual paths, they insist that yes, it is. That is the promise of spirituality. It is possible to overcome death. It is possible to overcome suffering. It is possible to find the deepest and most profound meaning and lasting joy in life. The greatest promise that human civilization has. Now, broadly speaking, in the path of spirituality, there are different paths. In spirituality, there are different paths. Different paths depending on how you situate the problem. One way is the path of knowledge, Advaita Vedanta, non-dual Vedanta, which we shall be doing today, which we shall take. That's the path we shall follow today. Where the idea is that the ultimate reality is present, right now, right here, and all that prevents us from realizing it is our ignorance. We don't notice it. It's as simple as that. We don't see it. We don't get it. There's really nothing to be done except remove ignorance. And ignorance can be removed by knowledge. Any ignorance can be removed by knowledge. So, the path of non-dual Vedanta is a path of knowledge. The problem is situated as a problem of ignorance, and the solution is knowledge. The darkness of ignorance has to be removed by the light of knowledge. That's one way, and that's the way we will be taking today. But just for contrast, just for understanding, there are other ways too. There is the path of yoga, of meditation, which says ignorance is not really the problem. The primary problem is the restlessness of the mind. If the mind can be calmed through meditation, can be focused, the scattered powers of the mind can be concentrated through meditation, then the truth will reveal itself. So that's the path of yoga, where the problem is seen as a problem of restlessness of mind, and the solution is seen as concentration or focus of mind, or calming down the mind. And the technique will be meditation. That's one path, a different path. The first one was one of knowledge, the second one is one of meditation. There is yet another path, the most well-known of all, in all the conventional religions of the world, the path of bhakti, the path of devotion, the path of faith, where you say that the problem is not one of ignorance, the problem is not one of restlessness of mind, the problem is one of lack of faith in God, belief in God, and surrender to God. So that's the path of devotion. That's the path of love and surrender and faith in God, which is more or less the broad highway in most religions. But today we shall concentrate on the first one. The whole day will be dedicated to the first path. Ignorance is the problem, knowledge is the solution. What ignorance and what knowledge? According to Advaita Vedanta, the central truth is very simple. She just sang it that in the cave of my heart, Atman and Brahman shall never part. The ultimate reality is you. Your inner self is the ultimate reality. Brahman, whatever you call it, Brahman, Atman, the absolute, God, the void, whatever you call it. That ultimate reality, there is such an ultimate reality, and it's you. We do not know it. That's the only problem. And Advaita Vedanta, the path of non-dual Vedanta, seeks to point it out to us. How does it work? It says if that's the only reality, according to the Vedanta, the only reality is this Brahman, an absolute existence, consciousness, bliss. These may sound like big words, but at the end of the day, they'll just be facts to you. At least in understanding, if not in enlightenment. We'll see that. If that's the only reality, the world is an appearance, then in that case, where is that reality? Vedanta says it's everywhere. If it's everywhere, it must be here. Right here. When do you find that reality? After death, when you are promised a heaven? No. If it is eternal, it must be for all time. If it is for all time, it must be now. And if it's the only reality, then what? It is the reality of every object, everything, everyone that you see. The reality of that must be this ultimate Brahman, the absolute. What I'm trying to say is, according to Advaita Vedanta, the non-dual Vedanta, the tremendous claim is this: that ultimate reality which we are searching for, the goal of all spirituality, is available right here, right now, and in everything that we experience. Now the question comes, if that's so, then the big question will be, why don't I know it? Why don't I experience it? At least in conventional religion, when I am told that just believe in what the good book says in the Gita or the Quran or the Bible, what it says, just believe, and after death you will be rewarded and you will go to this place called heaven. Now heaven is a place different from this place. If you say, why can't I see God, why can't I experience heaven, you will be told, oh, God is in heaven, that's why you can't see God, God's not here. So it's nice, I mean, there's no problem. You can't dispute that. Only thing is, after death, if I don't find God, I can't come back and catch the teacher. It's too late. But if you claim that ultimate reality which you're speaking of is right here, then I have a legitimate question. Why don't I experience it? If it is right now, if you say the spiritual reality called God is a posthumous experience, after death you get to see God, in that case you are safe, because nobody can catch you right now. Because if you ask where is God, you'll say, you wait, lead a good life, to be a good boy or good girl, and after death you get to see God. But if you say it's right now, then I can legitimately ask, why can't I see it now? Why can't I experience it now? Advaita Vedanta takes on this question head on and says, yes you can. Yes you can. The literature of Vedanta, the Upanishads, are full of what I might call pointers, pointing to this ultimate reality here and now and within you, right now. We will take up today 3 of these pointers. Today's retreat has been structured, a very simple structure. 3 of these insights, I can call them insights or pointers. Each of these insights points to the same thing. But the advantage of multiple approaches is, if one doesn't work for you, the other will. If one works for you, you can enjoy this one and the other one also, and the third one also. So 3. We have 3 of these insights which I'll share with all of you today. And the structure is this. There are 3 sessions. Each session built around one of these insights. All of the insights will tell you just the same thing. That there is this ultimate reality and it's Brahman, and this is how you experience it right now, right here. So 3 sessions. One starting now, which we will conclude at 11:15. The next one will be at 11:30, which we will conclude at 12:45. And then, yes, there is lunch. So you can have your lunch. And then we come back for the 3rd session, which is at 1:45. So 12:45 to 1:45 is lunch. 1:45 to 3, because we have to wrap up by 3 o'clock. So 1:45 to 3 is the 3rd session, which has the 3rd insight. So 3 insights, or 3 pointers to the ultimate reality, which you are according to Advaita Vedanta. Each of these sessions is divided into 3 parts. Traditionally in Advaita Vedanta, the way of teaching was this. First there would be the teaching. The knowledge would be transferred. That phase is called listening, literally, Shravanam in Sanskrit, listening, literally listening. The second part of the session will be, each session, the second part will be thinking, in Sanskrit, Mananam, what you have heard, now think about it. And the third part will be the nididhyasana, which means meditation in Sanskrit. Meditating on what you have heard about, what you have thought through, that you must abide in. Meditation is abiding in what you've already got. You must stay there. So that will be the meditation part of it. So I'll divide each session into 3 parts. The first session, the first part of each session, which is going to start now, the first session, you just listen carefully. The first part will be, I'll say something to you. Just listen carefully. You don't even have to see me. There are people who are sitting outside. I hear the voice quality there is excellent. So you can just sit outside and listen to my voice. But listen, look out into the mist or the sea and listen. The second session will be what I have heard. The goal of the first part, in the first session, the first part, the goal will be, what did he say? That's all. What did he say? You don't have to literally repeat what I said to you, just the gist of it, the essence of it. The second part of each session will be, okay, he said this. Do I get it? There's a difference between being able to repeat what the teacher said and getting what the teacher said. So do I get it? If I do not get it, what are my questions? Where am I getting stuck? There I will work with you. Somebody will be there with the microphone, will go around. Please ask questions. I will work with you. When the questions are being asked, listen, it's not just his or her question. Often it is a question common to everybody. Listen to the answer too. Often the answer works for somebody who's listening, may not work for the person who asked the question. So listen to the answers. That's the second part of each session. Thinking. Sanskrit, mananam. It's essential because that's where you begin to get it. A kind of conviction comes up. Yeah, it's true. It could well be. Clarity comes. And then the third part, abiding in what you have understood, what you have heard, what you have understood. In the first session, the problem will be, I've heard what you said, but here are my problems, I don't get it. The second session, I've heard what you said, now my problems are clarified, I need to stay with it. The third session is staying with it. Not third session, sorry, third part of each session is staying with it. So 3 sessions, each session divided into 3 parts. First session, first part. The pointer or the insight which I will share with you now is drawn from a medieval book, a text called Panchadashi. So this is a truly Indian Himalayan edition. This is something that the Swamis carry around there, not in their pockets because they don't have pockets, but they have little bundles. So books will be like this. It has the original verses in Sanskrit and a commentary in Sanskrit. This book is called Panchadashi. A beautiful English translation exists, translated by none other than our own Swami Sarvapriyanand. I am going to use the first chapter. In the first chapter, from verses 3 to 10, the author, Vidyaranya, who lived 700 years ago in the south of India, there's a remarkable performance in which, in 8 verses, this author establishes that you are pure existence, pure consciousness, pure bliss. He establishes, without any appeal to authority, without any appeal to the Upanishads, just based on your experience and reason. Just based on experience and reason. What experience? The experience we all have and we all share. That experience and reason. And he shows that you are pure consciousness, pure existence, and pure bliss. So it's quite remarkable in that performance. Now I'm not going to use all 8 verses. I'm just going to use the first 4 verses, which try to show that our real nature is pure consciousness. What is pure consciousness and how are we pure consciousness? It will become clear. So I'm going to use only 4 verses, and they are going to point to that our real nature is pure consciousness. Alright. I'll chant the Sanskrit just for effect. You don't have to know any Sanskrit. English is enough, but just for the sound of it. So please settle down. The first one. This is verse number 3 from the first chapter. Shabda sparshadayo vedya vaichitryat jagare prithak tato vibhakta tat samvid aikarupyanna bhidyate. What did it say? I'll give a literal translation first and I'll go into the verse. All our experiences, sound, sight, whatever we experience in life, they're all different from each other and they keep changing. But apart from them and unchanging is the awareness, the consciousness to which these experiences appear, in which all these are experienced. A simple pointer, but let's see what it means. This verse is essential. Attend to this verse. This is the key to the first session. Our life is made up of experiences. That's what our life is. Think about it. All the people that you have seen in your life, all the things that you have heard, all the things that you have seen or tasted or smelt or touched, all that you have thought about, all that you have remembered, all that you have suffered, all that you have enjoyed, whatever you hoped for, your desires, your frustrations, your personal memories, the loss of memories, youth and old age and decay and disease and all of that, they are all basically experiences. Is that true? You're with me? Our life is a series of experiences. Just imagine today, from early morning till now, you have had a series of experiences. You woke up and you heard you heard the alarm clock, maybe, that was an experience. You woke up, it felt like something to wake up from a dream. Maybe you brushed, that was an experience, it felt like something. And you tasted coffee or something, and then you drove here, driving down the freeway is an experience. You are sitting here listening to my voice, that's an experience. You are hearing things, you're seeing things, you're thinking things. You might say, Swami, I'm not thinking of anything in particular, blank. Good, that's also an experience, lack of thinking. Now, this verse points out something extraordinarily simple but very profound. Here it is. Every experience is different from every other experience. 1. Second, experiences come and go. 2. Experiences come and go. And third, most important, each experience has 2 parts. A changing part and an unchanging part. What's a changing part and what's an unchanging part? Take up any experience. There is an object which you experience. For example, right now if you're listening carefully, you are hearing sound, you're experiencing sound, my voice. That's the object of your experience. And that changes. I'm speaking so many words and sentences, so different sounds are coming to your ears, and there's a continuous series of experiences you are having. And the object of experience changes. But what happens next? Sounds come into your ears and they produce thoughts in your mind. They produce a thought in your mind, thoughts in your mind. Those thoughts also change. You see a clock. Clock is object of experience. It produces a clock thought in your mind. Then you see a person. The person is an object of experience for you and it produces a person-related thought in your mind. So, the object of experience changed, the thought related to that object of experience changed, but what did not change was, in each experience, there is the background awareness to which the experience comes. There is an unchanging awareness to which every experience comes, in which every experience arises, is experienced, and it dissipates or it subsides. It's like the light in this room. The light in this room, suppose it's constant, and there are people. Before this, there was nobody. The empty chairs. The light shone upon the empty chairs. Now all the chairs are full. There are people. The same light is shining upon all the people. At the end of the first session, you will all walk out, and the light will shine upon the empty chairs again. The light is constant. It did not change. What changed? The people coming in and going out. That changed. Imagine your awareness, the sentience, the consciousness which we all have right now. We are all conscious, hopefully. Vedanta has a way of putting people to sleep. We are all conscious right now. That consciousness is unchanging. And the objects of experience are changing, and the thoughts produced by those objects of experience in our mind are changing. That's why one experience differs from another experience. One experience differs from another experience because the objects are different, one, and the thoughts and reactions they create in our mind are different too. But in the background, there is one constant, unchanging awareness. Are you with me so far? Remember, 3 stages. What did he say? Yes. And then next part of this session, we will talk about it. If you have questions, write it down or hold on to it. You will get a chance to answer. Now you might say, okay, what we have got so far is our life is a series of experiences, and each experience has 2 parts, a changing part and an unchanging part. Experiences differ from each other because the changing part differs. But the unchanging part, which is usually not noticed, that does not differ. That's constant. Like lighting up a series of objects. The objects come and go. The objects are different from each other. The light is constant and not different. Now, as day fades into evening or night, we fall asleep and perhaps we dream. We lose touch with the body. The mind is still active, but we are not aware of the body. The body is sleeping on the bed, but the mind generates dreams. And with the next verse comes, Tatha swapnetra vedyam tu na stiram jagare stiram tadvedastastayo samvid ekarupa na bhidyate. Dreams come, generated by the mind. Here the sense organs are not operative. You're not contacting the external world. You're not hearing external sounds, or you're not seeing sights or tasting external food. But the mind generates dreams based upon its past experiences. Now the point here is an important point to understand. Vedanta is not interested in your dreams. Many people ask, so can dreams be true? I saw this in the dream. What does it mean? There are. You can go to a Jungian psychoanalyst who will tell you the meaning of your dreams. But Vedanta is not interested in your dreams. You might say, that's unfriendly. One Swami said to this person who came to him, said rather sharply, the person was telling about his sorrows. And the Swami said, I am not interested in your problems. That person was so shocked. I am interested in you. Do you see the difference between yourself and your dream? The contents of the dream, what you dream about, good or bad, they all appear, the verse says, they all appear to the same awareness which experienced your waking life. That awareness which is experiencing all this now, unchanging awareness. When you go to sleep and you dream, that same awareness continues undisturbed and it lights up the objects of your dream. Your dreams differ. Your waking life disappears and your dream life begins, and every day maybe you have a different dream or a repetition of a same dream, whatever. Whatever you dream about, whomever you dream about, good or bad, whatever happens in the dream, what Vedanta is pointing out here is the awareness to which the dream appears is one and constant. It's the same awareness which experienced your waking life. It is the same awareness which is experiencing your dream life. Whether dreams are real or not, whether your waking life is a dream and as good as a dream, there are different schools of Vedanta. One school of Vedanta says there's no difference between your waking and dreaming. Your waking is just a long dream. This is what he is mentioning. Your dream is unstable, the waking life is more stable. In this life, here you are, if you come to the Vedanta class and retreat and you fall asleep and you dream of being somewhere else on the beach maybe, and then you wake up, your car will still be there. Don't worry. The waking world is stable compared to the dream world. In your dream, if you are on your beach, in the beach and having a pizza, you cannot say, oh, it's time to wake up. Let me put the pizza in the fridge. Next time I dream, I'll come and eat the pizza. Because it's unstable. It won't be there anymore. But what Vedanta says is, We are not interested in the contents of your waking life. We are not interested in the contents of your dream experience. We are interested in the container, in the awareness in which all these are happening. And that awareness continues undisturbed from waking to dreaming. This awareness, which continues undisturbed from waking to dreaming, when you go into deep sleep, because sleep is of two kinds. You dream and there's deep sleep where you do not dream, have no experience, it's just blank. Doctors also know about that. And they say there is REM sleep and non-REM sleep. REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, which is associated with dreams. When people have those rapid eye movements and you wake them up, they will report that they were dreaming. And there is sleep where there is no rapid eye movement under your closed eyelids. If you wake up people at that time, it's a cruel thing to do. If you wake them up, they report no dreams. It's a deep sleep. And the brain waves are apparently different also. So there are different levels of sleep. A light level of sleep is associated with dreams. A deeper level of sleep, no dreams, blankness. We say, I slept like a log, I didn't know anything. We say that. Deep sleep. Now somebody might ask a question. Here is something crucial. Somebody might ask a question. Swami, your thesis falls flat here. Because, alright, we have awareness in waking. We have awareness in dreaming. Definitely some kind of dream awareness is there because we experience dreams. But in deep sleep, there is no awareness. Deep sleep, it's blank. Everything's gone. So there is no continuity of consciousness. This idea you had of an unchanging consciousness, it disappears in deep sleep. Vedanta says no. The next verse is about this question. Is there consciousness in deep sleep or not? Next verse. Suptodhitasya saushupta tamo bodho bhavet smritihi sachava buddha vishaya avabuddham tattadatama. In deep sleep, once you wake up from deep sleep, what you say? There was nothing. I slept happily. I was unaware of anything. But what Vedanta points out here is, focus on this deep sleep. Vedanta claims that it's not an absence of experience. It's an experience of absence. Deep sleep, it's not unconsciousness, it's not no consciousness. It's consciousness without an object of consciousness. It's a container which is empty. It's like you go to Carpinteria station here and then first you see an Amtrak train coming in. A lot of people getting down and getting up and the guard and then the announcements. A lot of happening. It's happening. It's like the waking life comes into your awareness. And then the train leaves. After some time, maybe a freight train comes in. No activity. Nobody's getting on, getting off. No announcements. It just passes. It stays there for a while and passes. Like your dream experience. Hazy. Not very important. Not the industrial grade reality which you see in waking state. It's a kind of virtual reality like a movie. It comes. And then the freight train leaves also. You're still there. What's there? No train. But to say that the platform is empty, there is no train, you must be there. You are the one who noted that there was an Amtrak, you are the one who noted there was a freight train, you are the one who noted there's nothing. Unless you note that there is no train, who will say that there is no train? Exactly like that in deep sleep. In the waking state, you noted, here is your waking state. I am sitting here in Santa Barbara and in the temple and listening to a talk on non-dual Vedanta. Fall asleep tonight, dream about something. There you are, dreaming about a walk on the beach in Santa Barbara or something, and the ocean and the mist and everything. A dream. Exactly like that, when you say deep sleep, nothing, blank. You must have been there to see that blankness. Do you see where I'm going with this? That consciousness continues unabated. That consciousness is not thinking. In deep sleep, thinking also stops. You do not even think, I am in deep sleep, I am seeing nothing. No, if you do that, that's the mind. You're not sleeping. mind has also shut down. So when we are talking about awareness here, consciousness here, we are not talking about the mind. The mind continuously changes. We are talking about a background awareness which does not change. That awareness in which the changing mind also shines. The thoughts arise and dissipate. One unchanging light. Like a bright blue sky full of sunlight where clouds of various hues come and go. Bright, puffy, white clouds, waking state. The early morning mist you saw, dream state. And at night, nothing. You don't see anything. But the sky is still there. In the same way, we are that unchanged consciousness, because of which, after waking up, we could say, I went to sleep, I had dreams, and there was a time when I did not dream anything. It was blank, I was sort of deeply relaxed, I didn't know anything. It's because of that consciousness you're able to say that. Imagine, if there had been no consciousness in deep sleep, no awareness, then what would be our report upon waking up? We would say, I was awake, I went to sleep, I had dreams, now I'm awake again. That in between period of no consciousness would never be reported. You'd never feel that I slept deeply without knowing anything. To put it briefly, deep sleep is not unconsciousness, according to Vedanta. Deep sleep is a state of where you have experience of absence, not absence of experience. You experience the absence of objects of experience. There's nothing to experience, that's deep sleep. There's something to experience, that's waking. There's something to experience, that's dreaming. The experiencing consciousness is one and unchanged. Next verse. Sabodho vishayat bhinno na bodhat swapna bodhavat evam sthanatraye eka samvittadvat dinantare. That consciousness in deep sleep, which lights up the blankness of deep sleep. One mystic, a Christian mystic, points out something very interesting. He says, I forget his name, he says, the blackness of deep space outside the Earth's atmosphere, the blackness of deep space is actually full of light. Sunlight is streaming through space to the Earth. How do you know? When a comet passes through it, you see a glorious display. At night, you see the comet's tail shining in the sunlight, which means what we call space between Earth and Sun looks black. It's black because there is nothing to reflect the sunlight which is continuously streaming from Sun to Earth. All that sunlight which lights up our world right now, what you can see right now, all that sunlight is coming through deep space, is streaming all the time. It looks black. Why does it look black? Because there is nothing to reflect the sunlight. If a satellite passes through it, you'll see the satellite shining in light. If the moon passes through sunlight, you see the moon shining. The entire moonlight is basically borrowed sunlight. It's on credit. So, it's just borrowed light. In the same way, in deep sleep, he says that blankness itself is the object of consciousness. Nothingness itself is the object of consciousness. Therefore, he concludes, in all the three states of our daily existence, waking, dreaming, deep sleep, one point is that there is one unchanging awareness, because of which, through the mind and sense organs, you experience the waking world. Because of which, through the mind only, you experience dreams. Because of which, when the mind and sense organs have shut down, deep sleep, you experience the blankness. That unchanging consciousness, you are. Not this waking body and this little person here. The little person is in the mind. The body is physical right here. The body is in consciousness. You are not a body with awareness. You are awareness in which a body is experienced. You are unchanging awareness in which a changing body is experienced. The youth and the middle age and the old age and the decay and disease and eventual death of the body are all experienced in the same unchanging, unaging, undecaying, non-dying consciousness which you are. ever-changing dreams are experienced in that consciousness which you are. It's not the mind. The mind changes. Therefore, in all three states of our daily experience, there's one unchanging awareness. This is the central insight of the first session. And the next verse is very beautiful. The next verse is Masabda Yuga Kalpeshu Gata Gammeshu Nekadha Nodeti Nastamiteka Samvidesha Swayam Prabha. Beautiful verse which says, this self-effulgent consciousness which you are, which I am, this one neither rises nor sets. It's not a sun which rises and sets. Really speaking, this sun also does not rise and set. It's an illusion created by the rotation of the earth. But it's a sun which neither rises nor sets. What are we talking about? We're talking about you, this consciousness. Rises or sets means it's neither created nor destroyed. This consciousness is neither created nor destroyed. The body is born and the body dies. Thoughts are created, thoughts appear and thoughts disappear. It is witnessed by the same unchanging consciousness. Month, he says here, very beautiful verse, months pass, years pass, lifetimes pass. Body dies, we get other bodies. This consciousness neither emerges nor disappears. He says eons pass, universes are created and destroyed. You know, the Hindu idea of the universes is not that it was created once and will be destroyed once forever. It's cyclic. There is creation, existence, destruction, again creation, existence and destruction, and so on in cyclical order. A bit like nowadays they are talking about the Big Crunch and the Big Bang. So in New York, where I am right now, the Met is very close, the Metropolitan Museum, and they have a very nice planetarium. And Neil deGrasse Tyson, so he narrates the whole thing. And then he talks about how modern cosmology is coming around to this point of view, that there are universes which are created in a Big Bang, which go through their entire life cycle and die in either a heat death or a big crunch, and again a new universe is generated. Universes cycle through. You, the consciousness, you neither emerge nor are you destroyed. You are the witness to this whole game. This consciousness, one and self-effulgent, you are. First part of the first session is over. To sum up, the outline is this. Our life is a series of experiences. You are with me on this? Good, bad, desired for, anxious about, not desired for. Lot of experiences. Series of experiences. These experiences are all different from each other. Having a cup of tea and having a cup of coffee, they're different experiences. They're different from each other. And the thoughts we have about these experiences in our mind, they're also different. They come and go. But the awareness in which these experiences come is unchanging, constant, immortal. That awareness, think of it as an unchanging light, is what you truly are. You say, no, Swami, I'm this body. But are you an awareness and are you experiencing a body? You say, yes. If the body disappears from your awareness, as it does every night when you go to sleep, are you there or not? If you're not there, then who dreamt? So I was there. Were you aware of your body on the bed? No. I was aware of doing something else on the beach in Santa Barbara or somewhere else. Not on the bed. I was not aware of my body sleeping on the bed. Therefore, your awareness continues without awareness of the body. It's proved. There's no doubt about it. And even the mind, when the mind shuts down in deep sleep, even there, if you understood that bit about deep sleep, then we have to admit that in some sense, awareness itself, minus any object of awareness, continues. Therefore, awareness is continuous. There should be questions. So the first part is over. This is the pointing to the pure consciousness which you are. Think about it. When you say you are pure consciousness, it sounds cool, but whatever does it mean? Now you know what it means. It's pointing to something very real within you, within us. all the time present. It's because of that awareness that we have this experience of life. Our problem is we have identified that awareness which we are, and we have put on top of it the mind and the body. And forgetting that unchanging awareness, we identify ourselves with the mind and the body. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm happy, I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy trying to be happy. I'm overweight trying to lose weight. What does this say? No, you're not. Consciousness is not overweight. Consciousness does not need to lose weight. Consciousness is not even happy. Happiness is a thought in the mind. Anything that comes and goes in your awareness. Happiness is a thought in the mind. Anxiety is a thought in the mind. Fear is a thought in the mind. These are experiences. These are the contents of your experience. You are not the contents of your experience. You are the light shining upon the contents of your experience. You are not this body. This body appears in you, the awareness. You're not even the person. Where is the person? The person is in the mind. Proof? When you go to deep sleep, the person disappears. Think about it. We are more than 100 people here. We are all so different from each other. There are men and there are women, there are young people, there are old people, young and old, body. Man and woman, body. The person. Different kinds of people, different occupations, different talents, different life histories. But when we all go into deep sleep, even our dreams are different, but when we go into deep sleep, isn't our experience, all of us, we have exactly the same experience in deep sleep. Proving that the differences between us are the differences of body and of personality, of personal history. And they are all in the body, they are all in the mind, not in the background pure awareness which we all are. In that pure awareness, we are also all one. We are not different pure awarenesses. It's one pure awareness shining through many bodies and minds. At the deepest possible level, we are all immortal and we are all one reality, one consciousness. Let's have